Hello fellow crafters and or Star Wars fans, how are you today? Today I'm going to be showing you my Star Wars Clone Trooper army, all made out of crochet. Since lockdown happened, I've been spending a lot of time making these clones, and now there's over 160 of them in total, so in this video we're going to go through them, and stay tuned if you want to see every single Clone Trooper I own. So, without further ado, let's get on with the video. So we have the 50 plain white Phase 1 Clone Troopers in the front. They make up 1/3 of the army. Then we have the Camino Cadet inspired clones here, just like Domino Squad have. We have the Wolf Pack led by Commander Wolf. Behind them to the left we have the yellow and red Coast Guard clones. The 91st Reconnaissance clones behind them, and the Geonosis clones. We have the Coruscant Guard to the left, and the 501st to the right. The Coruscant Guard are led by Commander Fox, Lieutenant Thya, Sergeant Hound, and the 501st have Commander Appo and Captain Rex. Here's the 41st Elite Corps. There's Commander Green, and they are in their forestry camo armor. Commander Blight is also at the front, although he's currently missing his loop. We have the Senate Commandos in bright blue, led by a commander. Back to the Phase 1 Clone Troopers. We've got Commando Gregor and Commander Trauma. We have the 212th Bright Orange Legion and the Camino Guard. Behind them are a couple of Shadow Troopers. Now we'll go into them each in more depth and look at the commanders leading them. So here we have the Phase 1 Clone Troopers. If the camera will focus, you'll see that they're just plain white Clone Troopers with a black visor and a black belt. They have a standard DC-15 gun. Their colours might not be interesting, but they're useful because they pack out the army. Here we have the 501st. We have Appo Rex, a standard 501st Trooper, a Scout Trooper, and an Airborne Trooper. Although Appo is normally Phase 2, I've made a Phase 1 version. He has the typical blue stripes and the pauldron. Next we have everybody's favourite Captain Rex. He has his typical blue markings, but he lacks the typical 501st markings. He has an antenna, a pauldron, 2 pistols, Next we have just a standard trooper. It's got the typical V marking blue on the helmet. They also have blue knee pads. Here we have a scout trooper. These troopers can also ride things like speeder bikes. And finally we have the Airborne Trooper. These troopers are kitted out with gear. They have extra breathing help on their helmet, a longer gun and 2 pistols, as well as multiple belts to carry all their equipment. And here we have the Senate Commandos. Here is the Senate Commando Commander. The standard troopers are plain blue. They have a different visor to standard clones, with a V in the middle of the top line. They have the typical black belt. They have darker lines on their breastplate, and they have the standard gun. They have a large crest on the top of their helmet as well. You can see the crest up nicely on this one. And here we have the Commander. He has white markings on both sides at the top of his helmet, and some on his shoulder. He also comes with a bigger gun. There are no markings on his back. Here we have the Coruscant Guard. It's Commander Fox, Sergeant Hound, Lieutenant Thya, and a standard trooper. Commander Fox is the only Phase 2 trooper in the Coruscant Guard. He has his typical red and white markings. He has a larger gun, and he has a white belt. Moving on to Sergeant Hound. He has some grey markings as well as the red and white. He has a visor and some breathing appliances on his helmet. In my opinion, one of the coolest of the Coruscant Guard. Next we have Lieutenant Thya, as he's seen at the beginning of the Clone Wars. He has a pauldron and a visor, as well as a longer gun and 2 pistols. He has dark red markings, as opposed to the brighter red of all all the rest. And finally we have the standard trooper. They have red markings on their helmet as well as their chest and feet. They have a red belt and a standard gun. Mine are all Phase 1 clone troopers, but they have the Phase 2 pattern. Here's the wolf pack. It's Commander Wolf, and these are the standard troopers. Commander Wolf was one of the first figures I made, so could do with updating, but you can still see his typical grey markings on his helmet, the red dot and the antenna. He carries 2 pistols. However, the other troopers I only added to my collection recently. Here you can see they have the grey markings on the top of their helmet, and the grey arms and feet. They carry a standard blaster. Here we have the 212th. It's Commander Cody, and here are the rest of the troopers. Again, Commander Cody was one of my original clones. He has bright orange markings and an antenna. He comes with quite a long gun for Commander Cody. He has a black belt with orange markings around it, and some orange knee pads. And the standard troopers have the typical V orange markings on their helmet, as well as orange arms. They carry a standard gun, and have a black belt with some orange knee pads. Here we have the Camino Guard. Here's an unidentified Camino officer, and the standard troopers. The officer has an extra grey visor and carries a pistol. Apart from that, he has the standard markings of the troopers. And the troopers are very similar to the Coruscant Guard troopers. They have the same pattern, but the red is grey. Some of them are missing the chin markings, such as this one. However, some of them, like this one, do have the grey chin. They carry a standard blaster. Here we have the 41st Elite Corps. plus Commander Bly. Here is Commander Bly. And here's Commander Gree. And these are the standard troopers. Starting with Commander Bly, he has his typical yellow-green markings, pauldron, and his standard gun. I have to say, he's one of my favourite coloured clone troopers. However, I haven't made the Star Corps for him yet, so he's just going to have to hang out with Commander Gree. Here is Commander Gree in his striking armour. Again, he's in his Phase 2 patterning, but he's in Phase 1 armour. He has a very long gun, as well as camo trousers and pale and dark green markings on his chest. His helmet is grey and he has a green visor. And the troopers are all camouflaged. They also have a green visor, a standard gun, black belt. They're all in very camouflaged armour for the forests of Kashyyyk. Here are my Misfit clones. I only have a few of each of these. Here are the Coast Guard clones, the 91st Reconnaissance, the Geonosian clones, the Cadet Armor clothes, and the Shadow Trooper. Starting with the Coast Guard. These are not an official clone trooper in Star Wars, but I made them. They are red and yellow, and they have quite striking armour. He does not carry a weapon, because they generally save lives in the ocean, so use equipment. Here's a 91st Reconnaissance clone with the typical dark red markings. He carries a normal blaster. There are the red markings on his chest and the top of his helmet. Next we have the Geonosian clones. These are one of my favourite. The brown and white camo works on Geonosis. They carry a standard blaster. And apart from the colour of their armour, they're no different to Phase 1 troopers. Here is a clone cadet based on Domino Squad's cadet armour. They have one green arm. Apart from that, again, they're similar to Phase 1 clone troopers, but they're grey. And here is a Shadow Trooper. These are said to be elite. He has a red visor, grey V markings on his helmet, as well as dark grey armour markings. He carries a long gun. The black armour is good for stealth operation. Here we have Commander Trauma. He doesn't have a Legion. He's in rock armour, and it's camouflaged grey and white. He has a Scout Trooper helmet. And we have Commando Gregor with the blue visor and yellow markings. He also has reinforced armour, which you can see with the black markings. He has a commando gun as well.